Champ's here.
Ready to go.
Good morning, folks. Kevin Rogers, Bobby Garland TV. December 19th. We have a special guest with us. The champ is here.
Matthew Rogers.
Matthew Rogers in the house. Matthew, coming off a recent Crappie Mastered Classic win. We are at beautiful Truman Lake, considered my home lake. I don't think it's your home lake.
I consider it my home.
You consider it your home. You live on Stockton Lake.
Live 20 minutes from Stockton, 20 minutes from the Sac River that dumps into Truman.
So you consider Truman your home lake?
Oh.
You live closer to Truman Lake than I do, and I still consider Truman my home lake. I live up in the south of Kansas City, so it takes me an hour to get here, but I still have spent more time on this body of water than anywhere else. Matthew and I are going to go out today. It's December 19th. Like I said, it's cold. It's cold. It's winter time. And these, we're going to show you something a little different with these crappie at Truman Lake. They're not, I'd say the crappie right now are not in a typical winter pattern.
Not a true winter pattern at all.
Not even close. It's bizarre. We'll go out and show you today the LiveScope. Holy mackerel. We've done a couple videos on LiveScope. People went crazy for this thing. It's the newest technology. The reason I went out and purchased a LiveScope was it's his fault. So I've got the man in the boat. We have the LiveScope. We're going to go out. We'll get some videos today of some fish on some trees and hopefully some catches on some trees. So right along as we go through here, and a beautiful morning. Here's a good thing about fishing in December. We're the only people here.
Oh yeah.
Besides Daniel Porter's out duck hunting, but he's duck hunting. So here we go. Right along. First spot, we're catching these fish. These fish are actually shallow. I talked about earlier, it's December 19th. These fish are only 4 or 5 feet down, and we're seeing them on the Garmin, on the LiveScope. Matthew's pulling up, and we're actually seeing the fish, and we're dropping down to them and catching them. Pull us along here and see if we can't catch them. We're using different type baits. Matthew's got a 16th ounce head on, and he's doing a slow pitch. I'm trying to put it right in her face. Roll's working. The guy in the front of the boat, right? I found out Matthew Rogers' secret to fishing, guys. He gets in the front of the boat and doesn't let anybody else catch any fish. He doesn't realize that's my trick. I've been doing that for 30 years.
It works.
It does work. So here we go. Let's find us a tree that's got some fish on. We'll get up here in a minute and get you some of this LiveScope. Let's find a tree that's loaded, and I'll bring the camera up. And we'll see Matthew drop his jig down. We'll get a really good picture of Matthew dropping the jig down and seeing the fish react to it. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? It's unbelievable. Cool. It's a multiple right there ought to have a fish on, I'd say. Looks good.
I'd say there's 3 or 4 down there.
Woo, loaded. Little Christmas tree action. Coming up to a piece of structure, something that I like, and I've seen Matthew do it too. He pitching out and letting that jig fall in like a natural state. Absolutely deadly for crappie. So the fish we're catching, guys, are living still on the timber. We're at Truman Lake. It's known for crappie living right on the timber, and it's December 19th. These fish are still on the timber. There's no reason for them to leave. There's plenty of bait. And where there's bait, you'll find the crappie. Catch him. Got him?
I'm looking at him.
Oh! Ooh. Yeah. You know, Matthew's saying he's sitting there looking at the LiveScope. There's a tree under the water, but what it shows you is there's stuff that you would never see with your naked eye, or even a 2D imaging unit. There's limbs. There's a giant horizontal limb down here, way off the tree, and that's where we're getting bit. This is just another tool. Now, do you have to have LiveScope to catch crappie? Absolutely not. No way. But it's just another tool that we're going to use for our crappie fishing. It's pretty neat. It's like the ice fishermen use. It's like you're sitting over a hole looking down at your jig and the fish at the same time. It's pretty cool. It's neat to watch, isn't it?
It's awesome. You get to see what they react to, how they react.
Helping you seeing the behavior of the crappie.
Yeah, helps you replicate what worked once.
I can't believe you catch that. Yeah, I got 2 little hits. June bug. I got a little Bobby Garland June bug on here with an orange head. Matthew's got pennyback on with a white head. Color doesn't seem to matter yet. It's getting them to react to the bait, actually having them
Commit
see
to it.
Yeah.
You gotta commit. That's what you can learn a lot with the LiveScope, is watch the fish come up and then whether or not they commit to eating it.
That is a massive pile right there. Isn't there brush pile down there? What am I seeing here?
Yeah,
Just the bottom of the bait or just brush? What's amazing to me, we fished a little bit before I turned the camera on. The first fish I caught, you can see it on the screen. We're in probably 15 foot of water. The fish was 2 foot down. Here it is, December 19th. It's 31 degrees outside, and this crappie was only living 2 foot down. I can see him put it down there, and he hit it immediately. I'd say Matthew, the majority of his that he's caught have been 5 foot or less so far this morning. So it's fishing can be whatever it is. They're going to live wherever they're going to live, right? You have a preconceived notion when you go out. It's December, and these fish are supposed to be deep, living on the creek channel, and we're going to prove that wrong here today. These fish are living almost what I would call a summertime pattern in the lake, or almost a post spawn. That fair?
Yeah.
That's what they're living like right now to me. Almost a post spawn. Yeah, those trees are hammered. They've got crap all over them.
Oh, yeah. There's some good bed up there on that tree, a good bed on the next hedge tree. And there's a bunch of big things there.
I'd never really go past this right here. Like this big. I like that flat out there. Even when they're spawning up there. Something I think this LiveScope's going to allow me to do, something I've never done before in my life, and it's always been hard for me to do, is fishing trees and stuff under the water. And I think that's been one of Matthew's keys. There's so much pressure on our home lake here at Truman Lake. Everyone fishes the same arm. Everyone knows where the big fish live now. And the trees that are sticking up just get hammered, especially during the classic that you fish.
yeah.
Every tree in this lake had been jigged 50 times. So finding stuff under the water that hasn't had a jig stuck to it, pretty important. This Garmin is a whole nother tool of finding that stuff. We caught fish in shit. There you go. Woo! Saw him go up and in, baby. Show the camera. Go back there and tell them all about it.
That is a small Truman Lake crappie.
How did the fish hit?
He followed it up, and I raised it away from him once I finally got his attention, and I could see that he was intrigued by it. I would just slowly raise it up, and he finally ate it.
Watching the fish, you could see the fish. He got his attention. The fish is sitting there in a negative mood, and you can see him go, "Oh!" And he was like, "Well, hello there."
With that LiveScope, you can see the taper in their nose, and you can see when they turn up and whether or not they're intrigued by it or they're interested.
Amazing, folks. This stuff is amazing. I said it before, this LiveScope will change crappie fishing forever. Matthew sat there and milked that fish. I sat there and watched him, and that fish was in a negative mood. He finally got his attention. Like he's saying, he could almost see the tail. Matthew has looked at this thing long enough. He can see the tail of the fish and the nose of the fish. You can see he nosed up and like getting ready to fight. It was unbelievable. So, pretty cool stuff. Tell them about where you're from, how old you are, how long have you been crappie fishing? How did you get started in crappie fishing? Who taught you how to crappie fish? Tell them, walk through this stuff.
This man right here had a YouTube channel of his own, a personal page, and he had a video called Simply Slab Swinging.
That's old.
I was 10 years old when I got to go dipping the first time, and Richard Bowling here on Truman, a guide, he had taken me out. He actually just took me out. And Richard Bowling.
I love that.
Free trip.
Free
Took
trip.
me out.
I love
And
that.
I was absolutely intrigued by it. I was too young to try. I was 10 years old, and I was too young to course drive, have my own boat, get going in it. But if we went to a pond to fish, I just wanted to crappie fish.
Right.
Everybody could be throwing worms, catching the bass. I just didn't care, and I wanted to catch crappie. And then I finally started. Whenever I turned 17, I bought a boat. I'm 21 now, from El Dorado Springs, little town. Got tons of water around though. Have Truman, have Stockton, Palm de Terre pretty close, all within an hour of the house. And so I knew I lived in the perfect area to actually learn different waters, different styles of fishing. And I bought a boat when I was 17, and I started spending time up here on the water. I seen these tournament fish you were talking about when you were doing your videos, and I was like, I got intrigued by the tournament fish, and I really wanted to go and do that and try to be you. But
this stuff works, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so the next kid that's going to come up is going to want to be Matthew Rogers. So
I don't know about that.
I mean, that's what this stuff's for, and we put these videos out to help people learn about cod fishing. We'll do some more video here, but this is living proof that it actually works. My silly YouTube channel of me just doing videos and me slinging crappie in the boat got Matthew intrigued in crappie fishing, and he won the Classic this year. 21 years old, he's already won the Classic. I've been doing this 30 years. I've never won a Classic, so that is pretty awesome. That's some cool stuff.
Well, a major role in my fishing was a man by the name of J.R. Oldham got me interested in guiding. I started doing some guiding, and being on the water is everything. I can't stress that enough. If you're on the water every day, unless you just don't pay attention to detail, you're going to learn. You're going to learn.
You don't have a choice but to learn. So I think Matthew just hit a huge part there. Matthew is a full-time guy. That's what he does for a living. 21 years old. I got a job. I got to go to work. This kid gets to fish every day. And on the way down here, I talked to my buddy Jeff Lewis. We were talking about Matthew. And being on the water, you cannot help but learn about crappie fishing. So Matthew has spent more time on the water in the last 2 years. I probably have in the last 10 years because he gets to go every single day. So that's very valuable. You can't replace that. So how can they get a hold of you if they want a guide trip, say at Stockton or Truman Lake?
You could reach me out on my personal Facebook page, and I have a page for my guide service, Rogers Guide and Gear LLC. But my personal cell phone number is actually 417-296-0062. You can text, call, open 24/7, 7 days a week.
24/7, I like that.
7 days a week.
And here we are at Truman Lake. Of course, the boat's hung up on a stump. That's what Truman's boat stumps that we're hung up on. It's pretty cool right here. Let's see if I can't. You guys come up here and see this. Moving the camera. Oh, he caught him. You didn't wait for me. I was trying to come up. Matthew done caught him before I even got up here.
There we go.
Yeah, the tree was loaded.
Another eater.
Show him let's get a good video of the tree, Matthew. Put me on it here.
We'll see if I can get my jig to fall down.
That tree, it looked like to me it had 4 crappie on it.
Yeah.
Am I seeing it right?
Yeah.
So Matthew caught one of them. See that white dot right there to me on that tree.
Pitch over there too.
Well, I can't see the tree right now. There it is. Look at it light up. Look at those crappie down there. Look at them. 1, 2. There's. Oh, I just saw your jig. Let's see that crappie. I see his jig falling down. Looks like the fish are on the other side of the tree from his jig. Now he's in a tree. Yeah, that's a good tree. There's a limb, Matthew, out here to the, looks like there's a fallen tree to the right of it, and there's crappie on top of it too. Yeah. Definitely a fish living on that tree. There he goes. There goes his jig. Oh, there's one up high. There you go. You got him. You're not going to bite it. He's sitting there looking at it. Pretty cool stuff. Amazing technology. There's one up high, there's one down low, a little bit lower, about 8 foot down. You see it, Matthew?
Yeah, I see it. Drop it kind of there. I'm trying to.
Cool. cool stuff. And they're not active. I mean, what this is showing us, we've dropped in today and saw crappie go the other way. There's his jig popping. There's his jig and there's the crappie. See if he can turn him. He's not interested. He doesn't care. That is definitely a crappie.
There, he's seen it.
He's seen it. Here he goes. Look at that. There it is. I might have moved the camera too fast because you could see the streak of the fish come up. Right?
Oh,
on the line. I might have moved it too fast. Yeah.
And he was interested in it. It got close enough to him finally that he decided it was something worth eating.
Right.
Worth checking out.
I mean, he was sitting there all morning. Right? And Matthew finally got the right presentation or the right drop in his face. Just another good eater. Yep.
The big fish bite isn't on yet.
Not yet. I think when the sun gets higher in the afternoon, we'll catch some bigger ones.
Oh, yeah.
So that was cool. I hope I got it on the camera. Looks like there might be still a fish sitting there, bud. Or two. Yeah, you see it? To me, it looks like there's two crappie down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny how you gotta work these fish to get them to bite.
Yeah. Oh,
Unless they're biting. Have you gone out with this thing on a day they're on fire yet?
Yes.
And you drop it in and they come up. Do they always come up to hit it?
Yeah, they always come up.
When they're active.
Now they won't go. I have not had a fish yet that I've had a bait below that he's felt it or heard it and went down. But if they catch it while it's going down,
they'll still follow it down.
They'll follow it down.
Right, because I always say crappie don't feed down. They do if they see the jig falling past their nose.
Yeah.
Because there's videos of black crappie that will go straight down and hit crappie on top. I'll show you this. Just got hung up in this little brush pile here. Watch Matthew. Watch it right. Yank that thing. Look at that jig is hung up on that limb. Look at that limb bouncing right there. Yank it. That is crazy. That's how detailed that is. Pretty cool. Okay. I don't see it.
On the front edge.
Yep. That's just a fallen over, run over tree, it looks like. A couple of white dots out. Them white dots are the fish, guys. Right there. Matthew just put his jig in there. Pop. Not active. Let's set this up where we can just sit here and show them, hopefully, what this is all about here. Not gonna get one to come out of there, are you?
Not very active.
Let's see if I can see where he is. Oh, we got one. There you go. You got to see him come out of there. That was awesome. It worked. And finally, I had to stay in there for a long, long time. Swam off, didn't it?
Yeah, I was just trying to try to get right on.
Pretty cool stuff, guys. It's
There he is.
Oh, I see him. Oh, you just dropped right to him. Was that you or me?
Yeah, I was sitting on him.
Was that you?
Yeah, that was me. I was sitting right on his head. There's another one just down a little bit lower, swimming kind of towards his jig.
Oh, there's actually a stump there. We're right on the stump.
There he is.
He is. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. You were
Get this
looking.
boat slow down.
Right. Oh man, it's lighting up like a Christmas tree. Look at it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Look at that.
Look at them fish shooting.
Woo! Somebody's gonna catch one out of there, and I know it's not gonna be me because he won't let me get up there, folks. That's all right. I'm a good host. There's your steak bed, guys. You can see it. See if we can't pull a crappie out of it for you. Got a good picture of that or not? I want that to be. Everybody wants to see what a steak bed looks like. Here comes the fish. Oh, I got one too. Oh, I lost mine. Gosh dang it. I'm back here jacking with the camera. Steak beds in December. I've never caught a crappie out of a steak bed in December at Truman Lake in my life. I don't know that I've gone out and tried it. But there it is. There's the top of it. So there's some white specks down there, guys, and that's the actual crappie. Not showing up real good right there just yet. See my jig falling. Pop, oh, yeah. Oh, gosh dang it. Twist him again. Missed him again. You got him, didn't you? Hit the stake?
Yeah.
Yeah, he popped mine.
Just shot out of it.
Coming after mine or leaving it. See, that's something you'll see on this. You'll see fish run away from the jig. But you can see, guys, and let me point to it just so you make sure we're all on the same page. These are the stakes. And every time you move the transducer, you get a different picture. There's a tree behind it. Let me show you that right there. Back up. There's the tree. There's a stake back there. It's right there. I'm going to sit here and hold this till Matthew catches me one. You can still see them stakes. Not a best picture, a little fuzzy. You can see him popping his jig right there. Oh, there's a crappie right below it. He looks like he's active now.
There he is.
Oh, you caught him!
I was waiting.
Finally caught him! Yeah, atta boy! You milked him out of there.
Well, I seen him kind of move into the stake bed. Actually, they had moved out, and then one came back into it, and I was able to.
It's a good
hook
fish.
him into biting.
Pretty iridescent on top of him. That's a good. He's gonna be a tournament fish come June.
Yeah. A lot of times these fish in the stake beds, I catch when they're either getting ready to leave it, or they're just coming back into it.
What I have noticed, and I've heard people say this, and I think you're proving it right now. You pull up to something, you can tell if the fish are active or not. If they're deep down in it, that means they're down there kind of negative. If they're out on the edge, it means they want to bite.
There you can see another one in there, and you're going to drop right down to him. He's a little above your bait right now, I think.
Oh, that was cool. I think he went down to get it.
He had to.
Yeah, I was below that fish, and he came down to get it. Hopefully they could see that on the camera. That was pretty cool. Hopefully that showed up. He's just a little guy, but he looked bigger on the camera to me. He looked like he was a bigger one. It may not even been I may have caught a different fish. I was just talking to Matthew. I think one of the first major tournaments I ever won on Truman Lake. I think it was 120 some boats, and I had no electronics. The main power was dead in my boat. I didn't have electronics, and out of 120 boats, I won the tournament. What's that tell you? You can still go fishing without electronics. Now, if you do have electronics, especially nowadays, fishing pressure. There's more people crappie fishing now, which I love. That's what we're trying to do, is promote crappie fishing, have more people go crappie fishing. So, with all the pressure nowadays, this technology and these locators, absolutely amazing. We're using finally caught a fish on a big. I caught the last little bitty fish. The smallest fish I caught today has come on a 3-inch bobby Garland slab slayer. Isn't that nuts? You think everybody says them fish don't? Smallest fish I caught today came on the biggest bait I've put on. So we're using pennyback and black and pink. Muddy water, black and pink with a chartreuse head. Woo! It's a deadly combination. I left it. He went down to hit it. That crappie, you can see it on the screen. On the LiveScope, you could see him, and my jig went past him. We could actually see his nose go down and hit the jig. Little bitty crappie. We'll catch you a big one here in a minute. I promise. I promise. You get one too? There's the big one. Oh, big crappie.
White bass.
Oh, it's a white bass. Oh, I thought. Woo. Y'all. What? Big it.
I had to pitch out. He was sitting on top of a tree, actually suspended. There was two of them there. I could tell they're almost side by side just a little bit. And there was one specifically I actually was going for, and this one actually was more active. And he shot out and came after it, and he ate it. But what I was doing was I was floating that jig once it kind of apexed, and I just pulled up and let it set, and it just started floating upwards. And as it almost stopped is whenever he ate it.
A lot of fish caught today. Matthew is stepping on the power poles first and foremost. Power pole down.
Power poles down.
Fish.
18 foot of water.
18 foot of water.
We're catching these fish in 18 foot of water from 6 foot down to 10 foot down. The bigger fish have been
the big
shallow.
fish have been up. I think the deepest we've caught one today is only 12 foot, and it wasn't even a big one.
The ones that are
crappie.
well, the ones that are up there though are really active. They actually turn and go to the bait.
Very cool.